Hello and welcome to Magic Life Podcast. And today I'm with Belinda Berry, who is the project manager for Chapel, or the Chapel, right?
Yeah.
How long have you been here now?
About 5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where was you before? Did you start off here, or did you cover another branch before coming here?
No, so I've always been here,
Mm-hmm.
and then previously I worked for another care company.
Oh, who was that?
Blossom.
Blossom.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they a supported living company?
Yeah, supported living.
And what did you do there?
I was the care coordinator there.
Okay. So you went from a care coordinator to a project manager straight, or was there a little bit of a...
So I started off here as the deputy manager, and then after a few months went to project manager.
Okay. Have you found it?
Really good.
Yeah?
Yeah, every day's different.
Really?
Yeah.
Was you like a little bit... was it a bit daunting at first?
Sort of. I guess I was a care coordinator, but it was kind of different to your average care coordinator. There's a lot more entailed in the role. So it's kind of all stuff that I'd done before, but it's just new clients. It's always daunting when you've got a new client.
Mm-hmm. So how long... Have you always been in social care?
For about the last 4 years, on and off.
What did you do before that?
So I did my degree in psychology before that, and then did some travelling. So not really much career-wise.
So when you did your degree, was it with the aims of going into social care?
No. So I did my degree. I actually wanted to go into marketing.
Okay.
And then I came back from travelling and I was going to do a clinical psychology degree. I changed my mind. So I got into care because I wanted to get some experience for my masters. And then I started my masters and did a U-turn and did my masters in psychodynamic counselling in the end. But kind of fell in love with the care world. So I've stayed in it.
Psychodynamic counselling?
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about that.
So it's like... So we were trained by psychotherapists. So we take like a psychodynamic look at therapy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of talking, going back into the early years and...
Peeling back the onion skins.
Yes, exactly.
So I suppose when a certain individual has got some issues that they need to work through, you've got to peel back those sort of layers and to get to the root cause. Because if their foundation is askew, if you like,
yeah,
and then they keep on building on top of a unsteady platform,
yeah,
then their whole perception is wrong by the time they're of a certain age, but they don't really know that because their whole foundation is wrong. Is that a good analogy of that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's
Or am I totally off the path?
No, you're working through it and just seeing why you act or feel a certain way based on the experiences you've had previously.
And how has that helped you in the job you do now?
It comes into play quite a lot without even realising. So we do, part of being a psychodynamic counsellor is a lot of observing like behaviours and talking. And so I always like to observe the clients, especially before I'm doing like their care plans or telling staff like how we should approach them. So that helps a lot. And then approaching them in a therapeutic manner rather than just talking to them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
do you find that you sort of tend to not overanalyze, but you analyze someone, you stand back, you do a lot of watching, finding out what their trigger points are, and then you say, okay, I understand his behaviour, or their behaviour, and then go, okay, this is the trigger point. But if you hadn't had that sort of analytical view of it, you might not have maybe worked that process out.
Yeah, I think so. Like with one of our clients, you can tell through a few behaviours, like movements, that they're starting to become a bit elevated. Mm-hmm. So it's useful for me I spotted it after a while of working with them, and now the staff can recognise it as well, and we can de-escalate any challenges before they happen a lot better than we were able to before.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. I mean, so are you passing that skill on to your support workers? You try to guide them. Say, look, this person is displaying this behaviour. It might be a tic, it might be a tap of the face, or an agitation, and you can see those escalating to the point where, okay, we need to do something here.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I've seen staff recognise stuff that I've passed on to them a lot and de-escalate and kind of intervene. And I think we've all worked together on interventions that work. So it's been really useful.
Was this always a career path that you wanted to do, sort of psychotherapy work or therapeutic work? What got you interested in it?
I changed my mind a lot of times. So when I was at school, I started doing psychology. I was really interested in the brain and how it works and why people do what they do. I was thinking more like eating disorders and addiction rather than kind of neurological disorders like autism and learning disabilities. And that was kind of the path I was going on. And then I got to uni and I was like, no, I want to be a consumer researcher. I want to go into the marketing world. And then I went travelling and had a complete change of heart again. And I'd never worked with anyone who had learning disabilities or autism or any kind of epilepsy or anything like that before I started with my previous company as a carer. And just kind of loved it, and then worked my way up to care coordinator and just got stuck.
Got stuck. I'm here now.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll always do this type of work, or you might change your mind?
No, I would like to stay in this field of work. Yeah.
You obviously get some sort of enjoyment out of it.
I think, particularly with the client that we've got now in Chapel Row, he came to us with this label, he's challenging, he's hard to manage, don't take him out. Like, he came to us as a real challenging person, and we worked as a team together, and he now goes out once or twice a day. He has minimal incidents. And I'm hoping to scrub that challenging behaviour label from him. And you just feel like you've achieved something because now he's got a better quality of life. He's enjoying life. He's not getting as anxious because we're able to intervene before that anxiety kicks in. And it just feels like the other day he did something. His vocabulary wasn't very good. He was only using 2 or 3 words, and he said a whole sentence without prompting, without asking. And I just walked home like smiling, like, oh my God, wow, he's come so far, and he's only been here 4 months. So, yeah.
Why do you think the previous placement that he was at didn't sort of bring him up to that level? I mean, what's made the difference? Is it you? What's made that difference in him?
I think his setting, because he's still classed as a child, he's always kind of been treated as one. And then he's always been put in residential placements where there's other children around, they're loud, they're noisy, and he's got to share. And he's an only child, so he's never had to share growing up. So now he's got his own house, he's got freedom. We encourage him to try new activities. We've got kind of a activity planner. He knows what his week's going to look like, and he knows that when he comes home, that's his space, it's his safe space. So I think the environment had a lot to play. And then now he's getting all the attention from the carers. It's not split around the other residents that might come and intervene in what he's doing. It's just him. And I think that helps as well.
How does it leave you feeling?
Really happy. Yeah, like I said the other day, I just went home smiling. On my way home, I felt really proud. Yeah.
Yeah, you should be really proud because you've made an impact on their life, haven't you?
Yeah, and I was proud of him as well because it must be hard for these people to move into a new setting. They don't know what's going on, they don't know the people, and I'm like, you're doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be challenging for anyone, wouldn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Let alone someone who's got some learning difficulties, and all that big change is difficult to deal with. So you've done an amazing job with it. Yeah,
it feels like he's come so far. And then I remember that he's only been here 4 months. So I'm like, wait, it can only get better. Touch wood.
I'm sure it will do.
Yeah.
So was this something that you always had a yearning for at a younger age, to be into sort of psychotherapy work, or what? When you was a young kid going through school, what sort of drove you down that path? Did you have an interest in it? What brought that interest out?
Yeah, so I probably started being interested in like psychology about 14, and I actually swapped schools when I was 16 because my school didn't offer psychology, so I swapped schools specifically to go down that route. So it was really interesting. I think growing up I knew a couple of people that had eating disorders, and there was a few adults that had addictions, and I was just like so curious as to why does this happen, how does it happen? Like it wasn't about the helping side when I was younger, it's more about the why. Sort
of the understanding, the root cause behind it.
And I think once I got the understanding of why, then it was like, okay, now I want to help.
You're quite a young person, and you've had this passion come in from it. If you was to advertise this position to someone else of your age, what would you say to them?
Well, what I do, I'm always trying to recruit people like my age, or I actually would like the idea of someone a bit younger who's going to run around and chase the clients and play and be fun. And I explained to them, like, you know, there's the good days where you feel like you've accomplished the world. Like there's been no incidents. His vocabulary is improving. He's trying new things. You know, it was a great day. But then you have to remember it's also the bad days. When you do get beaten up, you do get, you know, the jobs that no one particularly wants to do. So when I explain it to them, I'm just like, you make such a difference. Yeah. It comes with a good and bad, but at the end of the day, you're always making a difference. And even if it was a day where you feel like you've not achieved much, you've still supported a young person to have a better day.
Do you like dealing with the younger clientele?
I've kind of dealt with from 17 up to 55. I think with the younger clients, they're more adaptable. You've got more scope to get them out into the community and get them to try new activities, because although they're set in their routine, there's kind of that little leeway for adaptation. But with the older clients, they're kind of set in their ways and this is what they like to do. However, I've got a client in mind, she was 41 and she was fun to work with as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I've got a preference. I think maybe the younger clients, but yeah.
So taking up this role, because pretty much you've got your own autonomy here. You're doing exactly what you want to do. You're running the project the way you see fit. There's no markers being drawn out in sense of you've got to do this, you've got to do that. How do you approach that as being, if you don't mind me saying, you're quite a young person, it's a lot of responsibility. How do you approach that and say, okay, I'm going to make this, I mean, have you approached it in the manner that I'm going to make this my world and I'm going to do it like this and like that?
I kind of see it as it's the client's world and we're intruding into it. So it's a blank slate. We kind of observe the client, how they want to live, what their routine is, and then we work around them. Because it's their house and we're coming into their home. This is where they live, this is where they sleep.
Great answer.
Yeah, so I think, it's all about them really. And then you observe, and I think you can't rush anything. You can do a care plan, but that care plan's always going to change and the behaviour plan's always going to change. But it's nice to have the ability to sit there and observe and use the skills that I've gained from my degrees and write a behavioural support plan and see the staff using it and see it make a difference.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's nice. It feels like you've done something with your day.
So I was a little bit taken back with that response, because I mean, obviously, I don't really work directly with service users. So, you know, I would have come in, tried to put my own mark on it. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And actually, your approach is really the right approach. It's their home. You're adapting to what they need and creating the workload based around them. And I actually had a totally different thought process from that.
Yeah. Well, these are new houses, so they're really good actually. So we've just had a client move in on Monday, so he's only been to day 4, and he's very artistic and he likes like colourful things, and it's great because we've said, look, this is a blank canvas now, this is your home, what do you want to do with it? And today I sent him out this morning to go and choose new curtains, new paint for the walls, if he wants any shelves, like how are we going to make it yours? And that's been completely his choice.
And did he have that before? So how was his reaction to that?
Really, he was happy. He was very keen. He put shoes on straight away and off to town he went. Before he was again in a residential college, so he was. I almost imagine it like dorms at uni. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing like you can't really do much with them. You can put your stuff in, but you can't.
So is this his own sort of first proper place?
Yeah, because he lived with his parents between that.
Right. So he's now putting his mark on his place. He's going to decorate exactly how he wants.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, and he's very happy to do that. He's keen to get that done.
So do you think this is a good type of work for younger people to get involved in?
Definitely. I've worked with a lot of younger people and they tend to support. So I used to, in my previous role, say that they'd be better with the younger clients because I think you can associate better. Mm-hmm. And the younger clients I found, not always because obviously everyone is different, tended to like to have the younger staff members there over the older staff members. But then again, the client we've got now likes to have motherly figures around and fatherly figures around. So everyone's different. But the younger staff I always found were more willing to go out and try new things. Yeah, just more like initiative.
What have been what do you find challenging? What do you find hard?
I think nationally it's a recruitment problem. Mm-hmm. That's hard. Also, I find it hard leaving and wanting everything to be okay when I'm gone. And it generally is. I rarely have any problems here. Mm. But I think it's always a worry that you're going to leave and something's going to go wrong. And also there are bad days. There are bad days where you get hit, you get kicked, you get spat on, and you just kind of leave like, oh my God, why do I do this? And then you might come in the next day and it's, I'm so sorry, and a hug, and you're like, okay, this is why I do this. Yeah. There's always a reminder why you're here.
It's difficult at times.
Definitely. It's not easy at times.
Yeah, and you can't, I mean, the whole point of this podcast is to try and promote new people coming into this type of field. Yeah. And I suppose you can't really sugarcoat, you can't paint this picture of it being great all the time. No. But it's like anything, there's a bit of give and take, or there's ups and downs. But I suppose you've got to just make sure that there's more ups than there are downs.
Yeah, and that's by following the care plans, the behaviour plans. Like, if you're just following their routine, watching them and making sure you're working with them rather than telling them, then you're going to be okay majority of the time, obviously. But like as a support worker, you go swimming, you go to the gym, you go to the cinema, you go to the park. I mean, next week, going to Woburn Safari Park, like it's fun as well. Yeah. And you're like, I'm really getting paid to support this great young guy and go and do this fun activity. This is amazing.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be doom and gloom, does it? You can make it what you want it.
Yeah.
That's what I found speaking to some other support workers is that, you can pretty much, write your own day. Mm-hmm. And there's not many jobs that you can go in and say, okay, what we're going to do today. Yeah. Obviously you're led by the client. Yeah. But you can interject your ideas and say, would you fancy doing this? Would you fancy doing that? Yeah. And, you can do anything. You can do something new every day. Yeah. And not be, stuck behind a desk or stuck behind a till or something repetitive and boring. Yeah. So it can be a really exciting job. Yeah. You just got to tailor make it to you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You see what the client likes and you see what their boundaries are, what they're willing to try. And then you make their week based around that.
Yeah, a little bit of positive risk taking.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Yeah, I mean, we went strawberry picking yesterday. It didn't go as well as planned. But there was no challenges. The client just didn't like it, wanted to go home. So let us know that he wanted to go home.
Yeah, but you
which
tried,
was
right?
fun. So we tried. We got some strawberries and went home. So, yeah.
So, you tried it, didn't really work. You recognised it didn't work. So, okay, let's go home.
Yeah, that's that one done. But there's always something new to try. So previously it was a disco we tried. Next week he's going to go and do some work experience on a farm. And we're just there to support him have fun.
That's brilliant. I mean, I think, getting a fresh perspective on with someone as, I keep on referring to you as young, but, you're younger than me.
Take it as a compliment.
Yeah, you're much younger than me. And I love to see how different people interact and how they do it. And also what was a catalyst to drive them into this industry. And, you had a genuine interest in therapy and social care. Do you think you need that? You need that genuine interest in social care, or you need to be a caring person? What are the qualities you need, did you think?
I think a bit of both. I think you want to have fun. I think that's the main thing, because if you're in the mood to have fun, the clients are gonna respond to that in a happy, excited mood. I mean, no matter how I'm feeling in the morning, I'll take a deep breath and I run in, and me and the client have a routine. I chase him around the house and then we bundle, and then that's him happy. That's our routine. If you're going to come in with that kind of energy, you're going to have a good day, and you're going to rub off on the staff around you. You need to be caring. You need to treat where you work like it's your home. Would you leave your home in a mess? No. So why would you leave other people's? That you're there to do that. And also almost treat them like they're your own. You need to have that kind of empathy and compassion, that you don't just want them to be bored. I'll just watch the TV all afternoon. No, we're going to do something. We're going to make it fun. Or even if you sit there and play a game,
Get involved.
Joining in, being involved. And it's not easy, sorry. On a 12-hour shift, if you've got to be engaging with someone for 12 hours, it's not easy. But that's normally when the client's got 2-to-1. Yeah. So our client's got 2-to-1, and the staff kind of take it in turns to be that first face, and the second face will take a step back and then swap over, and then the client's just engaging all day and he's having a great day and he's happy, and
the joys of youth, right? That's what I'm getting from you: youth, power, energy, excitement.
Yeah.
Go get involved.
Yeah. I mean, you have to put aside your pride and dignity when you do this job, because I've wrestled more than I've ever wrestled in my life, and I've jumped around, I've danced in the street, and I've sung in the street, and not something I'd normally do when I'm walking along, but it makes them laugh.
How do you think you've developed as a person, being sort of dealing with that? Because you're saying you've gone in the streets, you've jumped around, you've come out of your normal sort of comfort zone, right?
Oh, yeah.
So how's that? Obviously must have, you've developed, you've grown as a person. Some of those egos or inhibitions have said, stuff it, I'm going to put them aside.
Yeah.
So has that had an impact on your personal life?
Yeah, actually, because before I started in care, I was very, very quiet, didn't really want to talk to anyone. If I was out, walking down the road with my head down, very awkward person. And then you just learn, I think it was described to me once, I was on the phone to the doctors and I was like, no, you need to help us. This is a client, they're vulnerable. I'm not just taking this for an answer. But then when it came to me calling the doctors for myself, I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So you learn to be stronger as a person, learn to just kind of, don't care what other people think. The clients certainly don't. So why should I?
You there's a constant development of your own self as well. You were learning to be, you're growing up as well. Or became, I'm not going to take that.
Yeah.
Because you're fighting for someone else, and then you think, hold on, I can do this for myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And your own personal inhibitions, say, what are people going to think about me? They sort of lower because I actually don't care what people think about me anymore. I am comfortable with me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely wouldn't have been jumping down the streets or singing down the streets or clapping and dancing like. Well, I certainly don't do that on my own anyway, but with the client, I'm like, come on then, let's just have fun. Let's make this a good trip, because if you're not engaging, then you're going to get bored and you're going to...
It sounds like you really love it.
I do. I do, I'm a sucker.
You know, when I hear that people really enjoy it, it surprises me why more people don't do it, because what you get from it, everyone I speak to who is passionate about it, they said they love it.
Yeah.
They really love getting involved in it. And then, you know, your days, what you make it, you're having fun. You know, I actually haven't heard the word fun in many of the chats I've had with people. And you're one of the first to say, yeah, it's really fun. I really love it.
Yeah. I think it is what you make it. Like, we've all the staff individually have their own jokes with their client. They have their own way of greeting the client. And that makes the client feel special. Like, it's person-centered. It's not just, I was another client morning. Like, that's what's nice about working here, is that everyone approaches that client as a person. I think also we talk to him like he's a person. I don't like it when people adapt how they speak. Just talk to him like he's not got any neurological disorders. Talk to him like, because he can understand you, he can hear you, but his processing is just a little slower than yours. So yeah, I think that helps a lot as well.
Yeah. I suppose that takes a little bit of time to understand that they're just like us. They just process things differently.
Yeah.
Some people, I've met people that struggle with that at first.
Yeah.
You know, or shy away from difficult questions with people, or you know. But once you know, there's no problem here. Just be normal.
Yeah.
Just chill.
Yeah. I mean, the first time I ever worked with a client, I was scared. I'm not going to lie. I was like, how do I talk to them? What do I do? Like, how do I approach them? But then after a while, it's like just a normal day. It is really Monday to Friday.
I love the way you always loop back to focusing on the service user or the client. You know, you always, in the conversations that we've just had, you revert it back to them. So you've got a really good caring nature about you, because you always go back to them.
Yeah, I just think as soon as I step through them doors, it's them. That's it. That's what I'm here for. And when I go, that's when I can think about everything else. Just, yeah, I don't know. Just want to like wrap them in bubble wrap, but also give them the best life ever.
Well,
yeah.
that's lovely to hear, because, you know, I think everyone deserves that, whether you're in supported living or, you know, it's your own child or whoever.
Yeah.
You just want the best for people, right?
Yeah.
And I think it comes from a good heart. So, Belinda, you've obviously got a great heart.
Thanks.
Yeah. You're a good person to your core, and you're just a credit to our company, you know.
Oh, thank you.
No, thank you, because you're doing a wonderful job. It's lovely to see.
Yeah, well, it's a fun job, so most of the time.
What else do you want to add to it? You got anything else? Any pearls of wisdom you want to give me?
Oh, I don't know. I think we've covered it all.
Yeah, you've covered it. I mean,
yeah.
I haven't interacted with you a lot because you are quite far from where I am, you know?
Yeah.
And we want to get more involved. How do you feel the support? Do you think that we support you enough? Is there anything you need from us?
Absolutely. I speak to Eamon and Ali all the time. Normally Eamon chewing his ear off, like, what do you think about this? And yeah, constant contact with Michelle and Alex and everyone through emails. And I just know that everyone's just a phone call away. If I need any help, I know that someone's there, which is really, really comforting to know. Like, that you're not on your own, but you can do most of it, hopefully, on your own.
Do you think Magic Life's slightly different from other supported living companies that you may have worked with before?
Oh, that's a difficult one. Yes, I think I like the way that everything is done properly. I like the audits. I like not every company follows that. A lot of companies kind of, you know.
Yeah, fudge it around.
Yeah, but I like that everything's done like that. I like that there's like structure and routine. I like that everyone knows who everyone is. So if there's ever any problems. Yeah, and even for such a big company compared to a company that I've worked for before, you still can have contact with head office whenever you want, like, and you know you're going to get response and support.
Yeah.
Which is nice. It's not something that I've had before.
I don't, when I look at us, I don't actually feel that obviously we obviously are quite a big company.
Yeah.
But I don't feel it. I feel like I know all of the service manager, the project managers, quite a lot of the staff, quite a lot of the clients that we use. And we interact daily. So it's funny, it feels quite intimate.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like this massive detached organisation.
Yeah.
It feels like we're quite compact. You can call us at any time. I know we can call you. It's not, we feel quite small, don't we?
Yeah, it does feel small. But then when you look at it, like I was in the service managers meeting today, and you see how many services there actually are, you're like, oh wow, it's quite big.
Yeah, it's quite big. It doesn't feel though, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And I think that what I like about Magic Life, it's quite an open company. You can pretty much say what you want to say.
Yeah.
And it's not about being right or wrong. It's about, having a platform to talk, and people respect that. And even if you have an issue, it's not going to be looked upon as like a failure. It's like, okay, how do we deal with that?
Yeah, there was a scenario where I felt like I was really letting Magic Life down, for whatever reasons, and it was really nice that the people from head office, like Michelle, was like, absolutely not, like this has just happened because it's happened, and that was really nice to hear. And Aim and everyone was really supportive.
Well, that's good, because it's not about right or wrong. It's or pointing fingers at people. It's about trying to then going back to the service users, supporting them the best way we can.
Yeah.
And sometimes things don't work out.
No.
And you've got to revisit it and work it out again.
Yeah.
And that's not pointing fingers. That's life. You've got to deal with issues sometimes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always go to plan.
No,
But
it doesn't.
yes, that's how it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You are absolutely credit to us, Belinda, and I really enjoyed having a quick little chat with you.
Oh, thank you, so do I.
Thanks very much for everything you're doing. You're doing an amazing job. And let's see if we can get you some more people, because we're struggling at the moment. We need some. We need some staff.
Yeah,
but I suppose that's an industry-wide thing. I mean, trying to get new people in is always an issue. But if they can see that actually this can be a great career, you can progress right the way up to the top.
Yeah.
And it can be an absolutely fun job to be in, and you can basically make your own day as it is.
Yeah.
Hopefully will help drive people into it, because it is a great job.
Oh, it is a great job. And there's always room to progress and do training and courses, and so many qualifications involved that you don't even realise are there.
Yeah.
And like, I started off as the carer only like 4 years ago. So
yeah, and now you're running a large project in the middle of Bishops Stortford.
Yeah. So anyone could do it.
Yeah. You're
just
a bright
got to
person.
want to do it.
Yeah. You need that conviction and desire.
Yeah.
Yeah. With sprinkled with a little bit of joy and happiness.
Oh yeah. And tolerance.
And tolerance, yeah. Belinda, thanks very much. I really appreciate you giving me your time today. I really appreciate it. And shall we chat again?
Yeah. Thank you.